Hey, welcome back to Stu Balls Gaming. Today we are going to be playing Space Engineers, and we are going to be doing a survival game and just kind of showing the game mechanics and how to get started. So we're going to be doing it in a star system. We're going to go into these advanced settings. I'm going to turn these up just so that the game moves kind of fast. I don't want you to have to sit there and wait for me to mine. Hostility, we're going to turn that up just so there's asteroids and stuff that come in. I'll kind of show you how to defend against those. And the other important one is turn this PCU up just so you can have large ships. Okay. And then mods, I've got two mods that I normally, the high range ore detector, I've got two of them. One of them I think does the small one and the other one does the large one. So we are going to enable those both, and we are going to get started. Thanks again for joining me today. If you like what you see today, make sure you like and subscribe so you can catch more Space Engineer videos and how to. So we're going to do an earth-like drop pod. Important things to learn about in this menu here. So Earth has oxygen, which means you don't have to worry about suffocating. That's a real thing in this game. Planet's gravity is 1G. So you can see throughout here these all vary, and it kind of affects the way you do your gameplay. The oxygen is whether or not you have to be keeping oxygen around all the time, otherwise you die. Then planet's gravity is how easy is it going to be able to escape that planet. So we're going to just do an Earth-like for today. So we hit spawn, and we drop in. Okay, so now you can see we're in this pod. We're going to press V to kind of get a lay of the land of what's going around, where we're landing. This is actually going to be a decent spot to land. So the parachute should deploy. And it slows us down and we slowly just fall back down to Earth. So important things to notice on the hood. On the left hand side we've got the, hopefully we don't roll. Okay, we didn't roll. So on the left hand side we've got our health, our oxygen, our power, and our H2. Our H2 is for our jetpack. And then we've got our light sensor, our transmitter, our jetpack, and then our mask on or not. Then across our bottom is we have the menus that we need. So let's jump on out. So in order to jump out, we press F. Okay, and then to kind of get into a first person view, you press V again. And now that we're out here, that bottom bar is filled up. So I've got like my welders. So you just press the numbers of what you want. Okay, and you're just kind of exploring our pod. So we've got some atmospheric thrusters, we've got a seat, some other odds and ends in there, some tubes, some landing gears, the battery. So you can tell for battery just looking on the outside that it's about somewhere around 75% full. This is our survival kit. So on the side here we can heal, recharge ourselves, and refill our tanks. And then if we come up to the back here, or if you even went onto that side, so this is just a portal that allows you to access the inventory on stuff and access anything inside of it. So we're going to press K, and that's going to open up so we can kind of see some of the large objects that are within this assembly. And so if we click on inventory, we can see there's actually nothing in here. If we click on this, then it shows the whole ship or station. So we've got some ice and some tanks and our bottles, and we've got a gun. We shouldn't need the gun at this point. Sweet. So, and I've got my drill and my thing. So first thing I need to do is, let's see if I get lucky. So I'm going to climb back in the seat and press K. And since I've turned on that mod, so if you go to the ore detector, you can turn off blocks, you can change the names on them, some custom data. It just really kind of depends on what you're dealing with. But since I turned on that mod, I can turn the range up on my ore detector. Let's see, okay, so we've got some ice below us. And then if you, sometimes it won't show what the thing is, and so if you press Alt, it's kind of a free look thing, so you can see we've got some silicon over there, which we don't need that. At this point, early on in the game, I just need stone, which, surprise, surprise, is everywhere around here. So I suggest you kind of be close to your ship, and I'm going to press C. So right click starts our drill, and left click starts our drill, but right click is going to just get rid of material fast. And then our left click is what we're going to need in order to actually collect the material. So I'm going to kind of go down a ways because you can see this green stuff. It means that we're not going to get as much snow now. So I'm just going to start drilling away with my right click. We're going to get down a ways, so I'm going to press L, turn on my lights. So we want that green to kind of go away before we actually start collecting stuff. So I'm stepping forward so you can see that I've got a sloped thing, so I don't have to use my jetpack to get out of the hole. Oh, there's the ice. I dug too far. Well, we can go this way. So now that we've kind of got a nice little hole here where we've got some nice stone that doesn't, we still got some green up on top, but not on down on bottom. So then I go over to the stone and I'm going to left click, and it causes the stone to fall out. So to make this faster though, if you hold down F, that's how you pick up stuff. But if you hold down F as you left click, you collect as it drills. You still do drop stuff though, so you still have to turn around and kind of pick up your stuff as you go. So above where you saw the welder and the drill, you can see that there's that blue bar across the top. That's my inventory and how full I am. So it'll eventually turn red once my inventory is full. Since I've cranked up my inventory, it allows me to carry more. So let's just pick up a bunch. Okay, so now that we're full, gotta remember which way you came in. So you got some ice there, and then we're gonna come up here. I'm still crouched, and we're gonna press K on the back of this. So it's not gonna do me any good being on me. So I'm gonna put it inside my survival kit. But now nothing's happening. We need some iron out of this in order to progress. So if we come over to the survival kit, you can see what is possible for me to build. I can build ingots. So if I click that once, now I've got some iron, some nickel, and some silicon. But if I press Control, it means that I ordered 10 of them. If I press Shift, it's 100, and Control Shift is 1,000. So I just always add some of those in there, just so it goes through the stone that I enter in. So I'm going to go down and pick up some more stone real fast while that's going through there. Do some more drilling. At the beginning of the game, you really want to try to load yourself up as much as you can, because once you get building, you don't really... Collecting resources isn't the funnest of all things. Especially when it's things like, I just need iron. Okay, let's see. Kind of stuck. Let's see. Let's keep drilling. Like I said before, we kind of want to stay away from that green. It's not as... It doesn't contain as much. And I think I just picked up some ice by accident. Which is fine. We'll put that in our survival kit as well. So my inventory's full. So press K on the back of this. So I've got some stone, but then I also have some ice, so I can put that inside my O2H2 generator. Awesome. So now that that's in there and that's now converting into my iron, I'm going to go over to my production side of things. I know for a fact that I'm going to need some steel, some press control, and then I also know I'm going to need some interior plates and some motors, construction components, computers, girders. They're all kind of things you need right at the beginning. So now if I press K, I'm going to grab some of these steel plates. You need them to place things. You have to have something in order to place it. Okay, so if you see down in the bottom, I've got my drill selected. If I press 4, now I've got an armor plate, or an armor block. So if I put it on a small craft, it turns into the small one. If I drag it back over, it's still the small one. So if I press 4 again, it's the large one. So I'm going to build a platform. Oh, that's a mistake. So if you do that, then you go over to your grinder, which is number 2, and I'm just going to cut that off. And I'm going to build a nice platform to build off of. Okay, and another key thing is you need to be able to get on it without using your jetpack, because sometimes you just run out of stuff. Okay, so now I need to build, because we're on Earth, and so there's atmosphere here, it's going to be worth our time to build a wind turbine. So that's number 7 down on the bottom. You can see a wind turbine. But the higher you go up, the more efficient they are, because there's just more wind, which makes sense because you're near the top of the mountain and there's lots more wind. So I'm going to press X to turn on my jetpack, and I am going to build a stack of these. You have to be out of the way of the block in order to actually place it, so we're pretty far up. So we'll come back down. Okay, when you're flying with your jetpack, here's your learning lesson. Spacebar means you go up, but if you're facing down, spacebar means you go always in the up direction. So, or up to your point of view. So we're gonna come back down. So you see in the bottom left-hand corner, my H2 is down to 54%, which means I've got some. I could probably do another flight, but I don't want to pay attention because you don't want to fall out of the sky and hurt yourself. So we're going to go back over to the inventory. I'm going to grab most of this stuff that I just produced. I'm going to need it to build power. So I'm going to press 7. So if you see on the right hand side, it's all the materials that I need to actually build a full functioning wind turbine. So I'm going to fly up there, so I'm going to press X again, and I'm going to fly up towards the top of this, and I'm going to click and select it right there just so it's kind of out of the way. Then I'm going to select my welder, and then I'm going to come over to it and I'm going to click. And then it's just taken on the right hand side. You can see that it's got all the materials it needs, and it is put it into it. So now I just click and it's going to weld it and make it. Okay. So now we've got a full functioning wind turbine, so I'm going to come back down here. So you can see now my H2 is at 20%, so I definitely want to come over here. So we've got the little computer screen that does recharging and refills your H2 and your oxygen. So we're going to fill that back up. So now I've got a wind turbine. So if you're running solar panels, you really want to have a battery to contain all your power, but since I'm not, I'm just going to leave that the way it is. We're going to probably need more of those, but our next thing to build is number 5 down on the bottom, which is the basic assembly. So you can see as I rotate here, we've got one little port area. So I've got some steel in my inventory, so let's look at my inventory. I've got some steel here, some stuff. I don't know if I have everything I need for it. Okay, so now that it's here, I kind of want that port to be facing back towards me, so I'm going to press the insert button and the delete button to rotate it. So now we're right side up and it's facing me because there's only one. So we need this to line up with whatever else we're going to stick in. So we click and then we're going to go back to our welder and click. Oh, so I can see that I'm missing some construction components and some displays and some more computers. So at some point eventually it won't let you proceed any further. So I need to get some more construction components, some displays, and computers. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to tell our survival kit that we need some more of that, some more of those. Yeah, you always need more motors. So we'll let that work. I know I'm going to need more resources, so I'm going to come down here and collect more resources. It's a never-ending game, right? And I'm drilling into that green stuff, which you can tell because it's the tan stone are the ones that they just don't contain as much, so it's going to take longer for me to fill up my inventory. We're just going to drill away. I'm holding F while I'm drilling. It's an important thing so I don't have to go through and go collect it all afterwards. Picked up some more ice. That was that white looking, kind of white blue looking ball. So say for example though, I am later on mining stuff and I didn't want ice. So you go into your K and then you can see we've got drop items. So you take your ice and you just drop it. And we're going to come back over here and pick up more stone. Because I know for a fact right now that is what I need. So we're going to come back to our survival kit, drop that in, and it's going to keep on because I've got all these ingots selected. So now I'm going to grab those resources and materials from before. I think I might need some more steel plates. So you can right click to delete things from your product queue, or you can drag and make it a priority. So I want those steel plates done because I'm not too sure. I can't remember. I don't think I need them, but you always need steel plates. So come back over here with my welder. Yeah, so if you look at the very top of that list, the steel plates are on that list twice. So the top ones are what get you from that functional line all the way up to the top, so it gives you full health. But I'm missing the computers. I need some more of those. So let's come back over here. I need some more computers. So drag it across to my personal inventory, and we're in business. We've got our full assembly. So now, actually, if I press K on either the keypad or the terminal, I'm gonna look at this wind turbine. So you can see that our wind clearance, we're optimal. We're currently outputting only a kilowatt. Our max output is 393 kilowatts. So I can technically take all of, we've got our iron and stuff, and we can put it in this assembler over here and it would make things for us. But I also need, number 6, a basic refinery. So you can see on this we've got 2 ports on it, 2 conveyor connection points, so we're going to stick it right there. Since I know that there's one on this side and there's one on that side, I can stick it right there. I'm going to click, and I'm going to go back to my welder. And let's see, I need a lot more steel and some computers. So we'll go back up here real fast. I need a lot of steel and some more computers. They're just things that you end up building a lot of. Okay, so go grab the rest of these while that's working away. Okay, so now I've got my refinery, my assembler on my base with my wind turbine. Okay, so now I can access, so if we go to my inventory, I can click on this button if it wasn't selected, and I can see my basic refinery and my basic assembler. So what I need to do now is I can take out my resources from here. It's still producing stuff, which is fine. So I'm going to go in here and grab all my iron, all my nickel, and my silicon. Just kind of grab everything that's useful out of here. The gravel isn't needed until later when you're doing like your reactors. So I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to press K, inventory. Okay, so I need to move to the top of my basic assembler because this is the input and that's your output. So we're going to move our iron, our silicon, and then I've got some steel plates and some other stuff. Looking at this, 100 iron, nickel, and silicon is not a lot. I'm going to be building a mining ship, so I need some more of this. So I'm going to come back down here and go at it. Happy news though, now that we're really making some good progress, we should be able to go catch some iron. So we've got some silicon over there, we've got ice. Ice is really valuable at this point. So let's collect all of that. That should be enough to get me going. Okay, so we're going to go to our inventory and we are going to drop the stone in the refinery. And now instead of it just, you have to selecting the stuff, it just automatically just starts going at it. As you can see, it's going way faster. And the beauty of it, since those two conveyor belts are joined together right in between there, now means that they can actually pull from each other. So now whenever I run out of iron here, it'll just pull straight from the refinery. Okay, so now when we go to production, because now we're in the basic assembly, we actually have some additional things we can build. Like we couldn't build the metal grid before, the metal components, or the power cells. So that's what we need for a battery. So we're going to build an actual battery because it kind of smooths out our power, because sometimes we're going to need additional power because we're going to be running both the refinery and the assembler, and then sometimes we're not running, so we might as well recharge that battery. So, but if you look down on the bottom, we don't see a battery. So if we press the G button, we've got, so right there, but if you're not sure where it is, you just type in battery and it pulls it up. So down here you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, we have all these additional, and then we have ones up here. So if you press Control 2, then it's now in this menu. So we're going to add that battery there. And you can see here's a list of what we need. So we're going to, I'm going to build this one kind of out of the way. I'm going to select that just because the only reason I can build this is because I've got steel plates. So you can see the list of things. I know for a fact I don't have 80 power cells up here. So let's get that going, because that's going to take some time. So we're going to start building that. So we're going to come back over here, see what we've got. Okay, we need some construction component, power cells. Okay. Construction components and power cells. That should be everything, I think. So these battery cells weigh quite a bit, so you can see right, we've got lots of mass and it takes up a lot of volume. So sometimes you have to make more than one trip. Construction components, did I make more of those? I don't remember. Well, let's go back and look. Nope, it's working on it right now. So I can grab the rest of those, grab that, and let's see if that's enough to get it to the functional line. I think it is. So because I don't have enough steel plates, it's going to be short. It's only got 83%. But now if we come in here and press K on this pad, you can see that it's going to take 7 hours for it to recharge fully. We've got the stored power, our current output, input, and all that. Okay. Things are good. So we can change the charging mode if we wanted. We can make it so it only recharges, only discharges. But that wind turbine is now charging it up. So that's going to smooth out some of our power, which is good. So going back to the G menu. So if we switch over to progression, you can kind of see what it takes. So I've already built a basic assembler, which then unlocks these paths. But you can see this, the projector, that's not as important. Let's scroll down here. So we've got our basic assembler. So in order to progress any further into any of these things, so we've got some like yield modules, but we've also got the Gatling turret, which we're going to need to deflect against the asteroids. Let's see, something we actually need right away. Ore detectors, that's going to be important. But to build a refinery, so then it unlocks that. Okay, this is where we want. So in order to unlock like our wheels and our cockpits and our control stations and all that sort of stuff, we have to build a landing gear. So all we need to do to unlock that is we literally come over here. I want to build a small one, so I'm going to press 9 again. I don't have a steel plate, so we need to come in here, get some steel plates going. I think there's motors in it. I don't remember what else. But normally you just build it, but there's a cheating way. So if we come over to our spacecraft, I like the front just because you're not worried about, we've just got some armor plates here. I'm gonna just drill those out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer just so you guys can see. So now I've got access to this landing gear. So if you look on the right hand side with the components that are required, you can see that there's a functional line. So if I drill that down below the functional line, and then I pull out my welder, I'm going to re-weld it, and now I've unlocked those blocks that we're waiting on. So if we come back over here, scroll down to... So now I've unlocked all of those. Okay, but you can see that there's the atmospheric thrusters, our gyroscope are unlocked based on we need to build a station. So if we come in here to our passenger seat, I think the passenger seat unlocks it. Let's make sure. I actually maybe not. Okay. Well, we need to build a control station. So if we go control 2, so now we're in the other bar. We want to drag that down there. So we need one of those. So on our station, just so it makes it a little easier for hilling and all that sort of stuff. So I don't want it facing that way, so I'm going to press the delete button and rotate it around. But I need some interior plates in order to set up this. So I need to go over to production. As always, I don't have enough stuff. Perfect. So you can see that it's not building because it needs more iron nuggets. So if I go to the inventory, you can see I've got a little bit, but not enough to actually do anything. So a key to dropping all this, because I need the most space possible when I go mining stuff, I'm just going to press this deposit all ores, ingots, and components. And my inventory is free. So I'm going to press Control 1 to get over to the other menu again, and press 3, and let's go digging again. And let's see what we got here. If you've just arrived, we're doing the Space Engineers tutorial on just the game mechanics and how to get started in the survival mode. Right now we're just mining some ore to try to get more stuff built. My goal is to get a spacecraft built. So we can do all of our mining for us. That might be in the second video, so let's see how far we get. Oh, inventory's full.
Inventory full.
So let's go back up here, so I don't need to put it in there now. Okay, let's drop it in the refinery so we get some more iron. And you can see it's already building, because they're separate now, it's already building our interior plates and everything. So we need to go back Control 2. Actually, let's pick up a couple of those interior plates, and let's actually pick up all of what we dropped before we went mining. I know I'm going to need some of it. So we're going to press 2. Now we want it here, but I kind of like it pressed. I like to be able to access it, so we're going to have it sideways. Press Control 1.
Inbound.
Oh, uh-oh. So what this is, you're going to be able to see them come in, and if it's maxing your stuff, my base is pretty small right now, it'll destroy everything. So let's see if we can get this built. So we're going to try to get some Gatling guns shortly to deflect. Oh, so here you can see they're coming in. I think they're going to miss me. But they actually will have resources, so like sometimes you'll see like uranium that comes down in them. So sometimes there's a second meteor storm that follows right behind it, but it doesn't look like it. So I need more computers and displays. So we're going to come back over here. I need computers and displays. So dump that in there. There's your displays. Awesome. So now I can sit in my chair and it should recharge my battery. If you look in the bottom left, off that turbine and the battery, it'll restock you. And I can press K and I can see all that. I can order stuff. Okay, now I'm going to show you a secret, the last thing probably in this video, if you press G. So I'm going to go over the progression tab. I want to build, let's see, I want to build an ore detector, a large ore detector. So I don't know where it says, so let's go to this, and we're going to type in ore. Okay, I want to build one on my station, because the large ones have a larger range, so I'm going to set that down in there, and we can see on the right hand side what we need. So, but if I also take it and drag it to this build planner, it's pretty awesome. So now, I need to get all the resources, so I'm going to dump all my resources, and then there's this button that withdraw components from build planner, and it's going to only withdraw what I need for this ore detector. So now it's got a list of things that I need: some more detector components, computers, and construction. Okay, so computer, construction components, and I know I need some detector components. That's more than I need, but hey. So, but I've got enough to get started, so I'm gonna kind of fly up here a little bit using X, and then I'm gonna rotate it so it actually is on the facility and not free floating. Build it, put the components I have in there, and let's come down here. So I'm going to go back to this, withdraw components from planner. And now, since there's no error messages that come up, I have everything for that ore detector. So let's finish this up. So then if I come down here, so ooh, I've found some ore. That's what I was looking for. So, but something else I'm going to do, so I can go in here, and I'm going to crank that range up just a little further, just so I can spy everything. So you can see, let's see, so we got some ore, some silicon, silver, cobalt. Cobalt is going to be needed. Ice and iron. Okay. So I'm going to be making a longer trip. So I'm going to iron some iron, and then we're going to cut this one off. So let's go over to this terminal. This is our O2H2. So we've got a hydrogen bottle and our oxygen bottle. If I drag that over, now if you look in the bottom left hand corner over the H2, there's a bottle, so that's going to refill us. So I'm going to go on, I want some iron, because that's something that we always need. So I'm going to press X, and I'm going to fly over here. Oh, it's from the meteor storm. So if you pull out your drill, it actually has a little bit of an ore detector built in. So I'm going to crouch down. So I'm just, right now I'm right clicking and just getting rid of material. Just doing a bulk thing. Oh, that's ice. My bad. How long was I going for ice? That's weird. No, I want the iron. It says there's iron in here, but iron is a little red. I'm not seeing any iron. If we just go over the edge a little bit, I'm not seeing any at all. Well, that's interesting. Well, okay, well, let's see if we can find some other resources. So I've got that hydrogen bottle, so if we go, we're gonna fly up kind of high here for a minute. See if I can point some stuff out to you guys. So once you fly up a ways, so if you can just hover there, there's different spots. If you look at the landscaping, you should be able to spot a slightly different like color, and that is where your resources, they're kind of in groups. It's easier when it's stone to be able to tell. But I think, I can't remember, but let's fly over here a little bit. So you see the hydrogen's low, and it just refilled. Ooh, so over there is a, it looked like a lake, but it's not. So we've got our GPS location of our base as well, so we don't lose our location. But that kind of looks like, so there's kind of like some gray stuff that shows up. And if we fly around with our drill, it'll tell us if there's anything here. And it should show up as that kind of gold. I'm not seeing anything. So let's fly back up a little bit. See if we see anything else that could be resource. Okay, so there's this gray right here. That could be resources. Oh, found some iron. Perfect. So I like to get kind of just right over the top of it, and I'm going to press G. Not G, sorry, K. If we go over to the GPS tag, we can new from current position. Click that, and then I'm going to change this over to iron, so that I know where to come looking for iron. So now you can see there's that blue one that says iron, so I'm going to crouch and I'm going to right hand click, and we're going to just get down to that iron real fast. Oh, stop drilling. So now that we've found iron, I don't want to pick up stone. Stone takes up a lot of space, you don't get a whole lot of resources. The efficiency is just not there. So iron looks red. It's moved. We're gonna have a nice long hole from this. Getting close. Oh, so there you go. So now that we can see the red, I'm going to left click and press F. And we're going to collect the iron. I know for a fact I'm getting stone, but we're going to pull that out. I don't want to waste flying around picking up stone. It's just not worth your time. So as your resources get, when you're mining uranium and cobalt and stuff, it takes longer and longer depending on the resource. Okay, so I should have a nice big stockpile down here. Okay, now you can see my inventory's full. So I'm going to have to press X because that is a pretty steep hole. So now I'm up here a bit, I can run. Okay, so getting rid of stone, you don't want to dump your stone inside your hole. So this is going to be a huge rock. And it rolls down the hill. You don't want to put that in, and it gets in the way inside your holes you're digging or mining in. So there are some iron in here. I'm going to try to pick up just the iron. It's hard. Okay, let's keep on going. So you may have noticed that when I built my base, I did not actually, let's check my inventory real fast, I got some stone in there, but I didn't finish the iron, or the armor plating that I built my base on. You don't have to finish it, and the power will transmit it through and everything will be fine. It just won't protect you, which I don't need protection from the ground right now, so there goes another rock stone. If we fly up here, I bet you we could probably see maybe the other, oh, yep, it's right there. The other rock rolling down the hill. So I always like to mark it though, because now I know exactly where it is, so I only have to dig down to the iron once, unless I am going to come down with my mining ship once I get that. Stone, iron. Here's more iron. I still need some more though. So depending on how much I have in my inventory, so 79 isn't going to be a huge rock, it's a little rock. 200 iron, perfect. So now, okay, so you can see over there is my respawn site. I'm going to press X and we're going to fly. So you can see my speed in the bottom right hand corner. 100 meters per second is the max speed you can go, unless you're like forcing it, then it goes over to 110. It's like when you're coming back in through the atmosphere, like you'll go 110, but you can only cruise at 100. That'll make more sense later on though. So I'm going to dump this iron inside my refinery, and it's not going to create gravel or silicon, it's just going to, or nickel, it's just going to create iron. So if we look in here, we are a little short on nickel, which makes sense because we didn't actually finish that, but so awesome. So this is where we're going to end off today. So you can see we've got our first base, we've got our landing craft that came in. We're gonna show you how to build a new craft for mining. You can do other things with it. You can fly out into the atmosphere, you can fly out into space, go find some asteroids. So this is, we've got our battery, our basic assembler, basic refinery, and an ore detector, so we can see where good sections of ore are. Unless there's asteroids, because asteroids kind of ruin that. So awesome. And then the last thing I'll show you is we're going to refill that bottle. So if we press K, our hydrogen bottle is at 48. So if we come back over to our O2H2 generator, the inventory, I'm going to drop it in, and our ice just dropped because it takes ice to convert hydrogen and oxygen. So then we're now at 100% again. So I can fly around. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and like this video so I know this is something that you guys think is worthwhile and valuable. Hope you have a great day, and catch you in the next one.